Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second episode of our walkthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. I am the Curious Owlbear, and I'm super excited to continue our journey through this wonderful adaptation of Dungeons & Dragons. So, as I mentioned before last time, we are going to start off with some combat, and then we'll have the exploration of a short dungeon. First of all, I'm going to just double check to see. Yeah, that doesn't look great. We don't have any simple clothing, I'm realizing currently, so I can't yet use my ability to cast Mage Armor on myself, as Mage Armor requires you to not be wearing any armor. Now I also go ahead and forget to cast Mage Armor on Gale, as, yeah, he should probably have it on. So we're going to come up here, just exploring through, and we come to the entrance of a chapel, or something of that kind, and we spot some figures over here. It looks like a rival adventuring party. Let's try to get up here. Perhaps if we jumped we could have made it, but let's just go the long way around this little cliffside and see if we can't get the advantage on this group of adventurers. Up the cliff here, and we are going to hide with all of our characters to make sure that they are in stealth mode. Again, if you're unfamiliar with Dungeons & Dragons, stealth basically just gives you a chance to sneak up on the enemy. They can counteract it with their perception, but here it looks like this fellow is facing away from us. Let's go ahead and Eldritch Blast him while the rogue sneaks up, and we're going to shove him off of this cliff, causing another 6 points of damage. And now the enemy is surprised, so we get a little chance to see if we can get some more damage. I'm going to try to find a good little angle to keep me covered from the other side while attacking these guys beneath me. So an Eldritch Blast, and it misses, of course, with like an 88% chance to hit. Alright, they are still surprised, so we are into full combat now. I'm gonna use the rogue, and he misses with a 94% chance to hit. Excellent. Let's use his cunning action to bonus action dash around the corner, keeping him free from danger. Let's try one more Eldritch Blast. This time it lands for some good damage. And let's bring the Warlock also behind this wall here for some cover. Alright, let's bring our other characters into the battle now. They can't really do much in the way of sneaking. And as you can tell, all of the rival adventurers have no vision of us, so they can't attack. They have to run up, and we get another round of attacks on them. Let's move the Asterion up. Let's go ahead and try to get a hit on. Yeah, I can't quite reach the mage. Let's try to get a hit in on one of these guys. We miss again, but let's go ahead and bonus action to dash back around the corner. In this way, we are keeping our characters safe from harm while dealing maximum damage to the enemy. Of course, if we didn't have quite so many misses, we'd be in better shape, but there we go. And now it is Gale's first chance to get a good spell in. Let's bring him around the same way. Thinking about using a Witch Bolt here, realizing I don't have Mage Armor up, but we get a nice critical hit with that. Ooh, can't remember the spell. Firebolt. And he gets put to sleep, which is going to be a little bit of a theme here in this episode. Here comes Shadowheart. We're going to try a Guiding Bolt. Let's just take out her wizard, and she does a great job of that. Now, if any of our characters are going to get hit, I want it to be Shadowheart. She's tied for the highest HP, except for ourselves, and she has a decent amount of armor with her shield. Let's get another 10 points of damage on that fellow, and he goes down. Let's just keep Asterion back for a nice another 9 points of damage. And we are going to dash and try to get close to this fellow, so next time maybe we can kind of lock him in and stab him there. Now, she's not great with her melee weapons, so we are just going to Sacred Flame there. And she gets critical struck, and she's downed immediately. Our wizard thankfully wakes up from his slumber. Let's go ahead and help her back up. That takes an action on Mithlos, but she is revived with 1 hit point and no longer prone, so that gives her the chance to cast a healing word on herself or take a potion. We're going to go with the healing word option as we are getting close to camping for the evening. And we get another miss on an 80% chance to hit. Luckily, Shadowheart has missed as well, but there we go. Nice, another firebolt. And from melee, it's not the greatest to cast a spell, so we're going to bonus action to get away. And not that. Let's go ahead and Eldritch Blast and finish him off. Alright, the rival adventuring party has been taken out, so let's explore this area a little bit. But first, of course, take everything that they own. Okay, we'll spread this around later. Let's go ahead and take a look at this large cinder block that's kind of hanging over this crack in the floor. Let's go ahead and split our party. I want to just explore with Mithlos here. Alright. And it seems to have opened up something for us to explore. Now, I'm staying away from all these creeping vine things that are reaching around here, as they will force a strength saving throw and kind of root you in place. Not super fun. So, with that, their backpacks looted, we come back to the group back up, and I think now is a great time to short rest. That'll heal our party, and that gives us the opportunity to use Arcane Recovery. I don't do it here, not sure exactly why, but let's go ahead and hop down with all our characters. There's a little explanation of Dark Vision here, which if you're unfamiliar in dim or dark light, it is going to be much more difficult for your characters who do not have Dark Vision to hit their attacks. Some characters do come with Dark Vision, like my Tiefling. Elves also have it. But here we go into another combat with some bandits. It seems that the people up to the top were not adventurers, but bandits. Combat does not start off too well there, as most of their characters get to move before we do. So what we are going to do is we are going to come to about right here, and there happens to be an oil barrel right there. So let us actually use our Scroll of Firebolt on this oil barrel and cause massive damage to everybody in the room, including ourselves. Probably could have positioned that a little bit better. Anyways, we come to Shadowheart's turn. Only a 45% chance to hit, and of course she misses then. Let's go ahead and try to shove him into the fire. Didn't quite get there, but let's move up and try to make sure nobody else gets hit. Unfortunately, right as I say that, Mithlos is downed by the next attack. Asterian's gonna have to help him up and take cover on the side of the room. They go and alert their friend. this guy is causing some mischief. Thankfully he misses Mithlos there. Time to chug a healing potion. Time to chug a healing potion. There we go. Now we can no longer bonus action to disengage, so we're going to have to Eldritch Blast from melee. And of course that's not usually a very good option. Toying with the idea of Guiding Bolt here, we have a 60% chance to hit. Let's go ahead and just do a Sacred Flame with the same chance of success. And of course that fails. As you can see, as a human, Gale here does not have good dark vision. So he can't see very far around him. Get a nice little firebolt on that guy though. Alright, let's have Asterion come up for a nice backstab, and he is downed. Alright, taking some cover. Nice little miss on Shadowheart. Alright, let's bring Mithlos back into the fight. With a nice little Eldritch Blast. And take some cover there. Let's bring Shadowheart into the room now that it is no longer on fire. And a nice little 50% chance to hit there, 55. Let's see if we can finish her off, and we can. Alright, so at this point I'm actually thinking that we are alright, but I don't notice that there's another person in the room with us. This fellow has a long way to go, and she kind of pops out of the corner there and downs Mithlos once again. So that's fun. We're gonna have to help him back up once more. And we can't really get through. We're gonna try cunning action to dash. Oh, and we can make it through. Let's get into the room with him as well then. Alright, that side of the room is obviously not safe. Let's try a winged Eldritch Blast and then try to find some nice cover for Mithlos here. He is taking a beating. Shadowheart comes up and gets a nice little strike in. As you can see, it's going to be rough for Gale. But it lands, and with that, we down one more of the bandits. One left to go here. Let's go, nice little ranged attack, which lands. And let's just go ahead and try to make sure he can't get through the door. Taking a risk here, bringing Mithlos into the fight, but we are able to take him out successfully. Now let's loot around the room and explore this short little dungeon here. We find a nice set of thieves' tools here. Seeing that we have too much to carry, it is time to transfer some items around. One of the fun parts of games like this is inventory management. But we actually have a few weapons upgrades that we're also going to take a look at here. Now first, Asterion is using a simple dagger, which is only 1d4 damage. So we can give him the longsword, which he can use one-handed for a 1d8, or he can use two-handed. But then I realized that I actually have a rapier, which is a better melee item for one-handed targets or one-handed users. We're gonna equip a quarterstaff on Mithlos, who is also just using a simple dagger. And once again, too much to carry, so we need to transfer some more around. I do see that we have a simple robe now, so we can remove our armor and we can use finally our mage armor ability. Let's just make sure we get everything over to Shadowheart, who's a lot stronger than Mithlos. so she can carry a significant amount more equipment. We find a looter's trunk and an opulent chest in this room, along with some books and things of that nature.
Who are those prayers for? Normally the patron god is Orpheus. Not here.
We'll keep those chests and books in mind for later as we continue exploring. Let's go ahead and make sure we've got our mage armor set up. We don't want to be going down here. And running around at 1 hit point, generally not a great thing to do. So Shadowheart goes ahead and spends a spell slot on Cure Wounds for Mithlos. A little bit of weirdness there, opening that door. But we come into kind of the main chapel area here.
You do not recognize the language on the floor.
We still don't know what deity this chapel is dedicated to, but we find a hidden lever on the wall. Pulling it, it makes a noise, and it seems to have opened a door. Now here we have spent a number of spell slots on our cleric, and it's just a good time to go back to camp and take a rest before progressing further and taking on more combat in the dungeon. You always want to be checking out what resources you've spent and making sure that you manage them as best you can. So for the first time we come to camp. Now at the campsite we can store some of our equipment. We won't really be doing that. But also some of our characters, like Gale here, have some conversations that they like to have with us.
Go to hell.
And good evening to you too.
You're a good sport. Go to hell. An everyday expression. So trivial it's almost meaningless. But we've seen hell. It's real. And it isn't trivial. Devils, dragons, mind flayers. They used to be abstracts. Pictures on a piece of paper. What a difference a day makes. Now we have tadpoles slithering through our heads like carnivorous feti. That's not abstract.
I'm not too worried. We'll find someone who can help us.
That's the spirit. Let's be up with the lark. Find a healer before the wee one gets hungry.
I'm not sure this is a good idea.
You're not sure what is a good idea.
There are lit fuses in our heads. Sooner or later, they're going to blow. Each hour that passes, the thing inside us grows. We need to find a healer. Let's wake up at first light.
Agreed. Our top priority as far as I'm concerned.
Maybe we'll get lucky. We're overdue some good fortune. Rest well. We'll need our strength.
And with that, we go ahead and take our first long rest. If you're not familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, once again, long rest will restore all of your hit points, allow you the ability to short rest again, and also resets all of your spell slots. So once again, we forget to cast mage armor on ourselves, and we wander further into a Dank Crypt. There are a couple of chests around. Let's make sure we loot those. And now I happen to know that there is a fun little trap / puzzle waiting for us on the other side of this door. So once again, I ungroup from the party and I'm going to explore forward with just Mithlos, who begins his rampage of failing checks. Alright, let's see if we can figure any of this out on Mithlos. Okay, we've got a trap here. Let's try and disarm it. 9, not too difficult to meet. Alright. We have some success on a sleight of hand check. Realizing that Mithlos is not doing super hot, let's go ahead and try it with Asterion instead.
What's that?
So Asterion finds some gas pits along with the interesting traps on the walls. Let's see if he can do anything about those. He seems a little bit better with Sleight of Hand, so let's... Okay, an 8. That's not too bad. He finds this one as well. And, of course, we critical fail. So we have now activated this gargoyle head, which begins to shoot fire across the room. That doesn't seem great. Fail another perception check. Oh, there's something over there. Another trap. Cannot disarm. Another gas pit. And this side of the room also has some gargoyle heads, which we apparently can't find. But we have now failed to disarm one of these traps and can no longer disarm them. We make sure we have some thieves' tools, which we do. That isn't the problem. We don't seem to have any lockpicks or anything of that nature. So, it seems like we're straight out of luck. Let's move back into the dungeon and see if we can find some stuff to cover those gas pits with. These chests seem like they'll do just fine. I had a little bit of difficulty right-clicking that chest and getting the select options to come up to pick up the chests. We want to pick up all 3 of these. And they are quite heavy, so let's just go back into the room and cover the gas pits that we found. Now, one thing I didn't do here, but I could have done, is I could have checked out the room with the remaining characters. Each character would have an opportunity to make their own perception checks and hopefully discover the entirety of all these chests. Let's just make sure it is completely covered there. Also have to stay away from the fire, but we are just throwing these chests willy-nilly on top of the gas pits. We have one more chest. Let's go ahead and... I'm seeing now during recording that I could have just thrown them directly out of my inventory. That might have been a little bit quicker. But we actually need to find some more chests. So, we're going to explore over here. Lockpick the door, and you can see how much faster Asterion is at it than Mithlos was in the first episode. Okay, this room looks menacing. Let's not go that way. In fact, I remember some looters' chests and trunks that were further back in the previous halls of the dungeon. Let's go back and grab those. Coming back in with those 2 chests, let's see if we can cover some of the remaining gas pits. And finally remembering to cast Mage Armor on the characters that need it. So that's a good thing. And here I am testing some dark vision stuff. I'm wondering if I can maybe equip the candle onto Gale so that he can see a little better. Doesn't seem to be the case. Certainly not the case. Well, let's continue. Maybe somebody in the comments section will be able to let me know if equipping a torch or candle is an option in this game. I'm trying to find exactly where I think that there is another gas pit. Let's get it a little bit closer. I think it's right in the very center of that circle, so I still think we're not close enough. One more throw should do it. Alright, and there's something weird about it. It's just not going where I want it to go. So we'll just try to get close. Alright, and now let's check out this sarcophagus in the middle of the room that all these traps seem to be defending. And once again, I want to check it out with Mithlos, as he is the loot keeper of the group. It's always good to have a loot keeper. And once again, I'm checking out. Nope, can't disarm any more of these. Alright, let's check out the sarcophagus. And once again, I changed my mind, and we're gonna go with Asterion. As if Asterion dies, I will be a little less sad. So we check it out, we find a key, and we try to escape the room, thinking it might explode. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, it does not explode. But now it seems that we can be knocked prone with some of these gas pits that I have not covered. Too bad. We're gonna have to sneak across anyway. Formulating a plan here. I think that the best option is to get as close to where I think those fireballs are going to be, and then I'm going to jump the rest of the way. Let's jump from where we're at. We might be able to get off of this grease that way. For the fireballs, and we're clear. Let's wait once again, and we're gonna jump to the corner. Right now, quickly get behind this wall where we are safe once again. Jump around, and it is locked. So let's lockpick the door. And we find that this is where we met up with Shadowheart. So, let's head back on inside. Navigate the room once again. Man, grease can be quite annoying. Feel like some of us DMs might not give grease enough credit. Let's explore this.
They look like
Final room.
scribes, despite the weapons. No surprise that they died then.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words that they commanded protection.
Find another chest in the corner, which we accidentally pick up rather than open. Don't want to be carrying that around with us. We'll just loot around. Another couple of scribes, and seems to be an entombed warrior down here. And if alarm bells are going off in your head, alarm bells were going off in mine as well. This seems like a place for undead, doesn't it?
That's Jericho, scribe of the dead. I didn't think anyone still worshipped him.
Well, the Scribe of the Dead seems to be who this chapel is dedicated to. Let's go ahead and save, as we seem to have a bad feeling about what's going on. I also would like to ungroup Asterion and bring him over here, where he will be able to stealth more effectively and join the fight when we need him most. So let's hide there. Come back to our other characters and push this button. And we're right. Here come the undead.
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
Indeed. So let's try to deal with it as best we can. For once, we actually have our mage armor set up. So that's good. Let's try to see if we can hit this scribe up on the left side. And we can. Excellent. Clear the stairs for the rest of our characters to come down. And a nice little thing of acid there. That's going to be a problem. Alright, Shadowheart, let's see what you've got. Can't reach too much. Guiding Bolt is only a 55% chance to hit. You know what? Let's give our Invoke Duplicity a shot. Put it nice and close by, so hopefully we can get some advantage at some point. Alright, Gale, you still can't see very much, friend. 72. And it lands, killing that first scribe. A good choice, it would seem. And our Invoke Duplicity is broken immediately. Let's bring our rogue into the battle. Sneak him up the flank here and see if we can't get a good sneak attack on this scribe. And it's a critical miss. Just when we needed you most, Asterion. Alright, let's see if an Eldritch Blast can land on one of these scribes. And once again, it's doing work. One point of damage, not too scary. But then he goes to sleep. Once again. Alright, let's give Shadowheart a little Cure Wounds. She is not in great shape, but we have used our action now. So the best we can do is to kind of come around the side here and let's drink a healing potion. Alright, Gale, 30% with Witch Bolt. Not going to cut it. He's in a rough spot without being able to see here. Having a little bit of indecision. Well, we figure out we have a 72% chance on those scribes, though we are going to step into the fire. I judge it worth, as they still have numbers on us right now, so taking one out is a good choice in most scenarios. And another critical miss for Asterion. Let's give up on that. Charge him across the room here, using our bonus action to dash. Might be able to take a little bit of cover behind this column. And Gale's asleep too. Excellent. Alright, Shadowheart can't move too much without provoking an attack of opportunity. So we are going to Bless on the party. Now, Bless is an interesting ability, which again is concentration, but it gives an extra d4 to attack rolls and saving throws to our party members. Hopefully this will make them more likely to hit. 42% chance. And of course, it fails. Scribes move up. And thankfully Mithlos awakens. Let's try Tasha's hideous laughter on this fellow. It works! Undead usually don't have quite the wisdom saving throws that other creatures do. Let's try to get a nice shot on this scribe. We do so. And let's just move up into his face. Once again, Gale is asleep. Let's try to deal with this last scribe here. We are successful. Or excuse me, there's one left after that. Here he comes. Still not able to do much. Now we get the chance to finish him off before going to the one who is affected by Tasha's hideous laughter. And Mithlos takes care of it with another Eldritch Blast. Let's bring our characters as close to the final remaining skeleton as we can. Only a 30% chance to hit, being on the low ground and the creature in darkness and prone. We can't get any closer. Let's bring Shadowheart up and attack this fellow. Nice little 7 points of damage for Shadowheart. Nice 5 more points of damage from Gale, who finally woke up. Miss with another Eldritch Blast. And really here, we are now just trying to kind of clean up the last mob. So, we'll take 30% shots all day. It lands somehow. And let's finish him off with a Sacred Flame. Or actually, just a melee strike. Alright. Now it seems like Shadowheart has something to say.
Rising from the dead just to protect some dusty baubles. Fools.
They only attacked us after we desecrated a tomb. We should have left this place untouched.
Please, save your regrets. This place isn't worthy of them. Let's move.
Let's. Alright, let's march through the acid once again. Check out this heavy chest, in which is an amulet of lost voices, which allows us to speak with the dead. Let's immediately equip that on Mithlos. Let's move some spell scrolls around to some other characters, the less used spell scrolls. Nope, don't mean to cast it. Don't mean to drop it either. Alright, check out the sarcophagus. He doesn't look too friendly.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me, right as always. What a curious way to awaken. Now I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
Quite the question. What's the reason for it?
Curiosity. Nothing more. Wilt thou answer my question?
Yes, ask away.
So, I ask again. What is the worth of a single mortal life?
That depends on a person's deeds.
I am sure thou believest as such. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell.
An interesting fellow, it would seem. Alrighty, let's go ahead and exit this crypt. Well, let's take a short rest first and allow our wizard to recover his first level spell slots. And we exit through this large hole in the wall, which seems to lead to a ladder. We pull the lever to lower the ladder. And we exit this dark, dank place infested with undead. Climb the knotted roots, and we will find ourselves outside of the chapel entrance where we first kind of met up with that what we expected to be a rival group of adventurers, but turned out to be a group of bandits. Let's go ahead and move onwards into the wilderness, making sure to avoid these entangling vines that can hurt our party a little bit. Let's come back down the cliffside, and right here, there seems to be a couple of tieflings. Let's see what they're up to.
Zoro was right. Yellow as a toad, twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
And if it escapes, how will you... Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
You again. Get rid of them.
Rather demanding for a woman in your position. Why should I?
Your words flow to her, though you never speak them aloud.
I know what grows inside you, and I know of a cure.
We can't trust her. Think of what her kin did. Best if we just kill her right now.
Well, let's try a persuasion check. Well, no, let's go with deception. Ooh, just made it.
He's right. Let's go. We need to check out that blast.
What blast? I need more
Didn't hear it.
specifics.
Shook our camp good, so we came for a look.
I'm in dire need of healing. Where's this camp? Ooh, we are rolling low, but making it.
Northwest. Look for Nettie. Whatever your wound, she can mend it.
And be careful. There are goblin traps everywhere.
Nymessa, come.
Well, good to know about the goblin traps.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Now that they're out of earshot, sure. It seems like we can communicate telepathically using the tadpoles in our brains. And it seemed like Shadowheart also
The tadpole
heard.
hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Lies. Just get rid of her.
Well, Shadowheart doesn't seem to like her. And what exactly is a creche?
It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter. Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Geich tadpole, we must report to a caretaker for purification.
Alright, we journey together. Let's find this creche.
You are full up. Dismiss your weakest warrior.
Wait at my camp, we can speak there.
Very well. But I cannot wait long. Nor can you.
We will likely be using Lae'zel in place of Gale, as we are kind of the caster of the group. But let's pick up this short bow and move a little bit more down the road. Find one of those goblin traps that were mentioned.
I hear shouting.
And I do too.
We should check it out, but be careful.
This seems like it might be the best time to go ahead and go to camp for another night. Rest up, fully recharge, and perhaps bring Lae'zel with us on the next mission, perhaps not. Why are you studying your own mirror image?
Indulging in a spot of vanity. Handsome devil, aren't I? Be that as it may. Ceramorphosis. What does it make you think of?
First and foremost, that damn tadpole.
Spot on. Day 1, fever and memory loss. Day 2, hallucinations and graying skin. Day 3, hair loss and blood leaking from all orifices. Need to go on?
Shake your head.
My point is this. Our orifices remain blissfully unblooded, our heads remain clear, and our blood temperature normal. Any expert will agree this is abnormal.
Well, long live the abnormal.
I'll toast to that. The pragmatic in me, however, sees only the silence before the storm. Something to sleep on. We should get some rest.
Indeed we should. And to bed we go. Apparently I have decided not to bring Lae'zel with us on this mission, and I've also decided not to cast my morning mage armor, as I obviously should have. But let's go ahead and move on. See what all this shouting is about. Might be good to hide all our characters once again. Surprise rounds are always beneficial, if you can get them.
Open the bloody gate! Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders! That pack of goblins will be on us any second! What's going on? Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now! You let goblins here? Where is the druid? Please, there's no time! By the 9 hells! Open the gates! Cannon! No! Shit! Form a line!
And with that, it seems like goblins are attacking this little village that seems to hold the druids that might be able to help us with our healing. We don't roll great initiative as they get to go first. Here I am realizing I don't have mage armor. Let's just go ahead and use our first round to cast that on Gale. Move him up a little bit with some cover. Not going to do that here on Mithlos though. Let's go with our Eldritch Blast. For some good damage on that goblin tracker. Luckily, we have some help in this fight. Else it would likely be a very deadly fight for us. The NPCs get to go first. And now the goblins, before we finally come to Asterion, who, despite being a rogue, somehow rolled super poorly in initiative. Let's bring him up. Maybe hide. Can we hide? We can't hide. Oh well. Let's try to finish off this tracker. And we do so successfully. That poor fellow's in a bad spot over there. But now we have the high ground against all of these goblins, and we are going to use that to our benefit. Gale with his fresh mage armor. Let's come up here and see what you can shoot. 91% chance there. 96%. He's injured. We try to take him out, but no dice. That's okay, Mithlos will finish the job. No, we'll actually attack another one and heavily injure him as well. Let's bring Shadowheart up and into the fight if we can. Another critical hit on a guiding bolt. Well done, Shadowheart. Using your spell slots efficiently. And that lady takes an attack of opportunity, which was not a great call for her. Action surge. Could have been a little better, but nice try. Nice magic missile there to take out the goblin on that side. And now the fight is already looking a lot better for us. Let's try to finish off the tracker. And let's go ahead and use our dashing as a bonus ability to move across the map towards this warg, who looks like he's going to be a little bit of a problem. Bring Gale down a bit more, see if he can attack the warg. He can, well done. Follow it up with an Eldritch Blast, of course. Which misses. Not so great, Mithlos. Bring Shadowheart into the battle, hopefully. For a whole 1 point of damage. Well, that's a cantrip. She's using her spell slots efficiently. Let's go for a sneak attack. No, let's go with a dagger. 91%. That's a little bit nicer. And he burns. Alright. Next up, Gale. Let's try to finish off this bugbear. Nice little 80% chance misses. Eldritch Blast once again. Another 80% chance misses. Oh, this isn't looking so great. Let's just keep going with the Sacred Flames. 8 points, that's much better. Using a healing potion with only one enemy left. I wouldn't recommend it. And still, we try to finish up the remaining hobgoblin, or bugbear rather. Have I been saying hobgoblin? I meant bugbear. Still a 30% chance to hit. Another miss. Let's see if Gale can finish him off. He can.
That was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate!
That's definitely true about goblins. Where there are one, there are many. Let's loot around, of course, as any good adventurer does immediately. And we accidentally start a conversation with Gale. No, I want the loot. We'll be taking a look at this loot later, but rest assured I am collecting all of it. Or at least what I know to collect.
You know what? That is not the easiest of questions for me to answer.
You mean just waiting? Like a lovesick puppy? Short-term amusements
Right,
are much
and
less
we
hassle.
can't loot Ramira's body, unfortunately. She probably has some good stuff. But with that, we are nearing another hour into this playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, and I think exploring this little village is going to be a great place to start next time. So, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe for the next part, and until next time, be well, be excellent to one another, and stay curious, adventurers.